Apple is quietly testing a new internal feature. It doesn't change your icons. It doesn't improve your battery life. It doesn't add a new button. What it changes is you. Or more precisely, the way your phone interprets you. According to internal leaks, Apple is experimenting with something called AI thermal model, a system that reads micro variations in your facial temperature using the front-facing camera and infrared data. Not to recognize your face, not to unlock your phone, but to detect your emotional state. For the first time, your iPhone may be learning when you're stressed, when you're frustrated, when you're angry, when you're anxious, when you're about to abandon a task, and Apple's AI adapts the experience in real time. The leak describes it as a comfort-driven adaptive engine. But let's call it what it is. Your phone is learning how to manage your emotions. The principle is simple but powerful. Your face emits subtle thermal signatures depending on your mood. When you become irritated, blood flow changes around the nose and eyes. When you're stressed, the heat pattern shifts across your forehead. When you're tired, the cheeks cool slightly. These patterns are invisible to you. They're not invisible to an AI model trained on millions of samples. Apple has already mastered facial geometry. This time, it's mastering facial thermodynamics. The leak goes further. The system doesn't just read your emotions, it adapts. It may delay a notification if it detects that you're already overwhelmed. It may pause a complicated onboarding process if it senses frustration. It may switch to a simplified interface mode if your stress levels spike. It may soften haptic feedback or reduce visual clutter when it detects cognitive fatigue. In practice, your phone becomes less of a tool and more of a behavioral companion that reacts to your internal state without you ever saying a word. But there's a twist. This is Apple, a company that optimizes everything for user retention, smooth experience, and psychological comfort. Once your emotions become part of the interface, your emotions also become part of the business model. If your phone knows when you're frustrated, it also knows when you're most receptive. If it knows when you're anxious, it knows when to avoid triggering you. And if it knows when you're calm, it knows when to push certain recommendations. This is not malicious by design, but it's powerful. Too powerful to ignore. The leak mentions something interesting. The AI thermal model is supposed to never store raw thermal frames, only processed emotional indicators. Stress level, low, medium, high. Frustration, detected. Cognitive load, elevated. Engagement, optimal. Even if the data is abstracted, it still forms a psychological profile of the user. A map of how you react to your digital environment. A map of your vulnerabilities. A map of your triggers. And once an AI understands how you react, it can shape those reactions. Imagine an operating system that knows when you're losing patience, when you're about to quit an app, when you're emotionally fragile, when you're most easily persuaded, when you're mentally exhausted. Now imagine it responding, not randomly, but perfectly timed. This is technology stepping into a territory once exclusive to human intuition. Your phone becomes the observer, the interpreter, and eventually the influencer. Apple's entire philosophy is to create frictionless experiences. The smoother the interface, the more you stay inside the ecosystem. Emotion adaptive UI is the next step. Because what's smoother than a system that anticipates how you feel before you feel it consciously? There's a reason Apple is perfecting this quietly. Once the public realizes that phones can read emotional states with nothing more than a thermal pattern through a camera, the debate around digital privacy will shift dramatically. It's one thing for devices to track location, clicks, and habits. It's another for them to track emotional micro-reactions. This transforms your relationship with your phone from, I tell it what I want, to, it senses what I need. And there lies the problem. Need, according to whom? The user or the system? If your phone becomes too good at calming you, it can also subtly condition you. If it becomes too good at avoiding frustration, it can guide you toward actions aligned with maximum engagement. If it becomes too good at reading your emotional weaknesses, it can become a silent behavioral architect. The leak states it's early testing. But let's be honest, these systems rarely stay experimental. If the model works, it will be integrated into the next generation of device intelligence. At scale, billions of people would carry a device that constantly reads emotional temperature and shapes interactions accordingly. This is not dystopia, it's ergonomics. But ergonomics with a hidden cost. It trains you to rely on a machine that understands your emotions better than you do. Apple's AI thermal model is not just a new feature, it's a new category. Emotional computing. Phones that don't just respond to input, they respond to state of mind. This is the future of human-device interaction. Intuitive, invisible, and quietly transformative. Whether that future empowers us or gently manipulates us depends on how much we understand what's happening behind the glass. This transmission ends here. The next one is already forming. Stay aware and subscribe to Remain in the Signal.